Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the element of the past. This is a cool topic to talk about because it seems to be something that a lot of people are stuck in, so I'm going to be teaching about what happens if you get stuck in the past. Or even so if you get stuck in the future, because this applies to this topic as well. And this video is not meant to go towards anyone specific. It's not meant to go towards anyone's throat. It's not meant to hunt for people. It's mainly meant to help you guys. If you feel like getting ahead, if you feel like becoming the highest version of yourself, if you feel like making extreme progress regarding abundance and everything that's good, then this topic is gonna help you, okay? So what's a composure of living in the past? You guys know someone who just lives in the past. It seems like that person's stuck, like they cannot move on. And yes, the past is actually something we should celebrate. I mean, for the good things. For the bad things, it's something that we have to move past. And the past is basically something we can be just fully submerged and stuck in, and it will ruin our present. It will flat out destroy our current realities. And what happens is people will get stuck into the past to a point where they're stuck on certain memories or stuck on what happened, stuck on, could be absolutely anything. It could be something good, it could be something bad. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, but if you're really stuck on it versus applying it to your current experiences to make a better future, then you'll just see nothing but just no success, okay? The success won't be there if you don't just apply it to your current reality and move forward in the future. And I do have a very interesting outlook on the future and outlooks on what you guys should be doing. Because I see people who are more so, yes, we're supposed to plan for the future. Yes, we're supposed to make goals. But a lot of times when people plan for the future becomes the future and stays the future. And their current present actually becomes the future, and they don't move towards goals that they really want to succeed in. Another example is New Year's resolution. A lot of people have made, and I do my best. I can't save the whole world, but I try to help people with their New Year's resolutions. I say don't make the resolutions. Make them something you just do now, and you'll celebrate anyway. And when I bring up New Year's resolutions, people are like, well, you can't bring that up. It's not fair. It's like it's too much. And I do have a video topic that I'm gonna do very, very soon coming up. From what I found out, I might have to do baby shadow work tutorials coming up in the future because shadow work is too much for most people. That's a topic on its own. If you want to hear about that, drop a comment in the YouTube comment section, especially as a reminder, since I have so many video topics, but I'll put that one first. A lot of people can't do shadow work. Like when people start it, they actually give up because it's so scary. I've known multiple people who have done that, but shadow work is necessary in order to put your past behind. So let's just say you have an amazing past. And I do know people like this, and I try to help people like this, even though it might seem kind of mean. For some reason, whenever I help people, it comes off as mean when no one's saying anything that needs to be said, and everything's being sugar-coated all the time, and no one's ever finding change until I say exactly what the problem is, and people are like, that's a little too much. And I'm like, it's something you've never heard, and you've been getting lied to your whole life on something. So I'm going to say exactly how it is. I can't sugarcoat it. Sorry, guys. This is not a sugar-coated channel. Sugar is not even good for you. Natural sugar is different. So you can call this a natural sugar. The non-man-made sugar. The non-processed sugar. This is nature's non-sugar-coated, natural sweet content. Okay, guys? And I try to be as nice as I can about teaching certain things. So I'm going to use an example. When it comes to the past, a good portion of you have about 20,000 pictures in your phone. And yeah, that's a lot. That actually slows our present minds down. It actually limits our subconscious. And a lot of people will be like, oh no, I have a lot of work to do in deleting pictures, or I'm just not deleting my pictures, which you can ask yourself, and I'm not the only person who teaches about this, thank God. Different gurus online, different spiritual teachers will be like, you should delete your pictures out of your phone because they're creating subconscious gunk. And I found out I'm not the only one who's saying that. Cool. Because now that people are like, oh, maybe I should delete the 30,000 pictures I kind of need. You don't need 30,000 pictures, okay? So if you're holding on to baby pictures and you're looking at baby pictures of yourself every single day, that can really, 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 really hold you back. Now, even such as if you have like a past pet, then you must remember them in the present as them being with you and them having a beautiful and amazing life. Because some people will look at like the past pictures, and this is something that I had to do myself because this is a form of shadow work, guys. Getting rid of constantly being in the past and looking at the present. So this could be with ancestors, it could be with pets, it could be with events, etc. It doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad, but if we're constantly looking backwards, what happens if you're riding a horse? Life is like a horse. If you're riding it, you constantly look backwards, you're going to fall back off and you're like, oop, you're going to hit your head and it's going to fall and you're going to hurt. Same thing happens. So looking at the past will hurt your intuition. Like you will not have the intuitive aspect about yourself that you need for the future because you're supposed to apply experiences from the past in the current moment. The past can get weaponized too, so a lot of people they'll do something for someone in the past, or they'll have a whole past with someone. That's why people don't want to give up a relationship, because their past, this is another example of past. And yeah, if someone's in a really bad toxic relationship and they're like, well, we have 20 years together. We can't give up if we have 20 years. Yes, you can, because the past technically doesn't exist in a multi-dimensional standpoint. Ooh, here I go. Like multi-dimensional stuff. Yes, it actually applies. So let me try to find a different way to say this. So basically, like I said, the horse analogy, if you're looking backwards, you're going to fall off the horse, and it doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter how, but it's about when. It's not about how. So it's bound to happen that you're going to move backwards by looking backwards. It shouldn't surprise anyone. What happens if you look too forward all the time and you're not looking at your present step? Because this video does apply to both. As above, so below. So if you're someone who's constantly looking at the future, but you're never acting, then that future is always going to be the future. Your present just stays the present, and every second becomes the past, and every second also becomes the future. How cool is that? So what am I saying in this video? I'm saying, guys, if you have a past with someone, something, could be a pet, could be a relationship, could be events. Oh, these events were amazing. These events were awful. So even I have a specific friend, and he went on a vacation somewhere a long time ago, and he only talks about that vacation. And I've actually said something as recently, and I'm the bad guy now. So I have a friend, and this, I'm not going to say who this friend is, but he talks about his vacation all the time. Blah, 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 blah. I want to go back there. I want to go back there. Oh, it was so cool. I went to the water. I'm like, you have the full ability to go back there. Why don't you do it again? He's like, well, I kind of liked it so much the first time. I don't want to let the expectation just, like, excuses. And of course, Stone Man came out and was like, dude, go back there now and enjoy it again. I mean, that's the thing, because think about it. So you've had an amazing time before. For whatever reason, you're just not you're not doing what you want to do in the present moment again. So, and you're constantly focusing on it. So it's kind of like you're looking at the past, your present's going by, you're getting older, life's going on, accomplishments are being made or being not made. And that's that. Like, if you do what you desire right now, and even when it comes to applying it to your goals, guys, when it comes to your goals, so many people are like, well, I didn't accomplish this back then. Well, I did only this back then. Nothing of that matters. At a multi-dimensional standpoint, your past is in the trash. That rhymes. So you become a new person every second. Every second of a... Because people are like, well, in the past, and I've heard people say this, in the past, I had my chakras aligned. Or, oh, I was fully aligned in the past. It takes 3 seconds for you to be fully aligned to unaligned in certain chakras and certain circumstances. What else is there for you to know? Move forward by looking in the present. You will make the most progress. So wake up today and be like, okay, how can I honor my ancestors? Talk to them now. Talk to God most importantly and be like, okay, ancestors, you're with me? Versus, oh, I had an amazing time with them. They're still with you. They're looking at pictures of you in the past with them. Because this has been a topic for many people, and I don't work with ancestors, but I've had a lot of people ask me about this very recently. So I will talk about this. Because a lot of people are like, okay, Stone Man, how can I honor my ancestors? By talking to God and asking him to uplift them. So same thing with pets, because I know people have pets in the afterlife. What about pets? Because Yes, they do. Pets do go to heaven, and pets are the purest form of energy as well. So pets, if you've had an amazing past in the pet, if you can't forgive yourself for the pet going, let's just say the pet was supposed to live a little longer than it should have, then you forgive yourself and just realize the pet is still with you, just in a different energy form. If you guys want to see your pets again, your pets are actually following you around. You guys don't even know that. Your ancestors are following you around. Your pets are following you around. Sometimes you look in the corner of your eye and it feels like you're seeing, and this happened to me with my first dog ever. I'm just like, I stepped around on the couch when I was walking towards the couch, and I'm like, I just thought I saw my dog, and I almost tripped over my first dog. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, well, yes, it does, because they're always with us, and they're still energetically doing stuff too. So like if your dog used to lay down around you, they're still laying down around you in a multidimensional standpoint in their afterlife of where they are at. So look towards the present. Just realize that you looking at the present is you making a future and you making a past. So this video can get a little bit trippy, but like I said, it's for you guys to be ahead. I'd like you guys to be ahead. So a lot of people who just had, because there's certain people who will just go through the past pictures they had every single day. There's certain pictures that people will, you can put them on your walls, you can do that, but just keep in mind that it's still with you now. The ancestors are still with you now. The pets are still with you now. Your friends who are passed on, they're still with you now. They're experiencing this reality through you. So what about traumas? That's a really good question. So traumas, if you've had a really bad trauma, that's something you should definitely leave in the past the most, because even with a trauma regarding a haunting, so you'll do the energy work, you'll move past the trauma, but for the people who have traumas and who have moved past them, they know exactly down to a T what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a reserve, like a pocket in time. It's kind of like a dimension. So that trauma, when you open it up to readdress it, you're going straight back into it. You're opening the wound again. And if you need to open that wound to make sure it seals closed properly, then you'll do that. But if not, then don't open the wound. It's the same thing with people having, and I've heard this over and over again, and this keeps happening to people because people don't know. I'll make a video on this just alone. Guys, any kind of video topics you want me to talk about, I will talk about. But people who have had haunted houses, do you know how it's not, I'll tell you the story right now. Several stories. I'm not going to tell you any haunting story because you shouldn't do that. If you've had your house haunted by an entity, a poltergeist, some form of earthbound spirit that went haywire in your house, the second you start talking about whatever haunted your first or second house or whatever house you lived in, they will rejoin you in your current house. They'll somehow energetically be able to create a mess, but if you keep talking about them, it feels like your house is haunted now. It's because the past can open certain portals for even you just not getting ahead. Let's just say that. Now, this is a really good... And what about good events? Let's just say you've had such an amazing past. Well, learn from those experiences, apply it to the present so you can have more amazing experiences in the future. What about your past lives? I've talked all about that in one video. I did say most of the time, your guys' past lives don't matter, especially as the older you get and the more that you move past certain things. I would say when your past life does matter is when you're younger, so you identify certain things, but as you become older, then like your 20s, your 30s, that's okay. That's an okay time to learn about the past life. The 30s, it's not even as useful because you're so much into this life that whatever programming you've had from the past life is just shaken off, and certain things have overridden it unless there's such a trauma there that you need to get past. Then that's a point where you would reopen the wound to be able to reseal it. So constantly being in the past will have you staying in the past. But if you need to stay in the past to currently repair something or rebuild something, so you take it to you in the present and the future that helps you move on, then it will help you. I highly suggest you guys delete many pictures out of your phone, especially if you want to create new and better memories. If you had amazing vacations, then those amazing vacations, don't keep talking about them in the past. Put them in your schedule in the future so they become a part of your present, so you're living that versus lived that. Because there's a lot to do on the planet. There's a lot to do in the world. Until we get to the afterlife, there is so much to do. For those with pets, friends, ancestors in the afterlife, and the pictures are the hardest thing to get rid of, which I'm not going to tell you guys to get rid of the pictures of your ancestors and friends and pets in afterlife, because that's even tougher myself to get rid of pictures of my first dog. I'm like, I can't do this. Get rid of the bad ones. Do that. So the ones that don't represent who they used to be their entire lives versus at the end of their life, like for example, and people know what I'm talking about. Like if you have a pet, they don't look their best at the end of their life. Don't remember them. Do not remember them on that, or they'll visit you in dreams kind of sad. Same thing with friends. Same thing with ancestors. In your past life, like I said, it doesn't matter too much. Watch my video on that. I talk about that in depth. If you guys have any questions, ask them in the comment section. This video is meant to help you guys get ahead. Like, I'm going to say stuff that no one else really has because, like I said, this is a sugarcoating free channel. And my information is meant to help you and to help you grow. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Ciao. Ciao.